My relationship with Salman Khan goes back many years, and then obviously we've spent a lot of time together as friends. So he's like a brother. I don't even think of him as a friend. He's like a brother. People kind of assume that I've sort of had an easy ride, and my first song was huge, and then from there it was so easy for me. But there was a period just before my first song where I wouldn't say it was a struggling period, but I did the things that a lot of newcomers do.
Hello everyone, you're watching PeepingMoon.com. I'm Rashida Sahani, and today joining me for a super fun conversation is Playback singer Kamaal Khan, who recently impressed us all with both his songs Diya and Seeti Maar from the film Radhe. Hi Kamaal, how have you been?
Hi, I've been good. How are you?
I've been good too. So, firstly, Kamal, tell me that Salman and you have always been called the blockbuster duo because whatever songs you two come up with, just hit it and are on the top of every chart. So, how do you feel about that?
Feels great, but I think majority of the credit should go to Salman Khan for this because he has this amazing music sense. So when he hears something, within like seconds, he knows that okay, this is going to be a hit. With me, it takes a little bit more time, but yeah, it was always great to sing for him, especially when I sort of hear comments that people say that my voice suits him a lot. So yeah, that's always nice to hear.
Okay. And Seeti Maar sort of took, the entire excitement of Radhe to another level because it was the first song that released. And it just created a buzz right after it was released. So did you, before saying yes to the song or maybe recording it, did you listen to the original version of Allu Arjun?
I saw a very short video clip of the song, okay. A very short one. It was probably, I think somebody played it for like 10 seconds. But at the time, I didn't know that I'd be singing the Radhe version. So when it came to dubbing for Seeti Maar for Radhe, that came into my head that, oh, okay, this song's familiar. Yeah. But I wasn't aware that it's a remake until I was told that I'll be singing it. And obviously I knew who the music director was, and then I got more information. But yeah, it's a great privilege to be a part of this song.
Okay, great. And what about the comparison? Some people are, of course, loving this version a lot, the Radhe one. Some people are loving the other one, which had released earlier. So how do you take such comparisons? Because when a song is remade, of course, the comparisons and the comments are inevitable.
See, that I think that's normal with any song that's remade. You will get some people who like the original. You get some people who like the new version. And that's inevitable. You can't please everybody. And then that's fair also, because even when I hear some remakes, I think, oh, the original is better. But then sometimes I hear a remake and I think they've improved on the original song. So that's normal.
Okay. And Diya has also, has sort of this 90s vibe. It starts off with some slow tune and then, of course, it picks up. And how was your time recording for this one?
Oh, it was great fun. I love recording with Himesh Reshammiya because I call him the king of melody, because his songs are always melodic and they're always like chart busters. And so I love recording with him. And this song, if you look at the way it's shot, the whole look, Jacqueline's look, the set, I think it was a conscious effort to make it look like a sort of a retro song, like a so that was a conscious effort. It's not something where people are saying, oh, it's sounding like it's from some particular era, but that was a deliberate effort to make it sound that way. Yeah. So it was great. I mean, I loved recording for it. Yeah.
That's great. And of course, you started your journey with O Jaane Jana, and then it went on to croon so many songs for Salman. So it's said that, your voice, as you mentioned, it suits Salman the best. Like whenever we hear it, it's like Salman is singing. It feels like that. So, how do you take these compliments and do you think this has sort of also become your comfort zone now?
Naturally, because my relationship with Salman Khan goes back many years, and then obviously we spent a lot of time together as friends. So he's like a brother. I don't even think of him as a friend. He's like a brother. So I think automatically there's a certain comfort zone there when I'm singing for him. But then obviously I've sung songs for other actors as well. But for me, this is like a home production, and I'm also familiar with his certain sort of his style and what the audience, and especially his characters, the characters that he portrays in movies. Fortunately, I get to sort of I'm given information about what character he's portraying, or if it's like a say a dabang. So I'm naturally familiar with the character Chulbul. So then when I'm dubbing, I keep that in mind that okay, this is his character. This is how the character would probably sing the song. So there's a lot of like I would say improvisation, modulation with the voice to suit him. But because I know him so well, it makes my life a lot easier.
I'm sure, of course. And as you mentioned earlier, also that Salman himself also has a great music sense. So when two are collaborating for a song, is there any advice that he sort of gives you or you seek from him?
I think the main advice that he gives is a song should have commercial appeal. It should instantly catch your attention. There are songs sometimes that take 2-3 listens to sort of get a person liking it, kind of thing. But he has this thing that you hear it once, and if you switch it off, you should be able to hum it or sing it. And that's something I try and sort of keep in mind when I'm working on songs.
Okay. And it is, usually said, Kamaal, that singers do not have a very huge career span. So they give a lot of hits and then they are not present. But you have been in the industry and you have been successful for so many years now. So what is the sort of the mantra that you follow?
I think I made sort of a decision quite early in my career that I wouldn't overexpose myself. So I've always been very limited. In the number of songs that I've performed and sung. It's something that I always realize that if I do too many songs, maybe one day the audience will get either bored or they'll think, okay, we've heard this voice a lot. So I've done selective songs, and also because of that, I think people find there's a certain freshness when this a song does come and my voice is there. It's not something like people are expecting it, they're waiting for it. So that I think is my sort of USP.
I'm sure. And I think even between Seeti, Maar and Diya, there is sort of a difference that we don't feel that it's the same voice coming again. So I think, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Okay. And of course, talking about your journey, starting on a very pleasant note, on a very successful note, how has your overall journey in the music industry been?
People kind of assume that I've sort of had an easy ride, and my first song was huge, and then from there it was so easy for me. But there was a period just before my first song where I wouldn't say it was a struggling period, but I did the things that a lot of newcomers do, and it wasn't a question of okay, I have access to Salman Khan and it was so easy. Yes, he was there, but just before O Jaane Jaana released, I remember I had made a single version of that song, the film song, before the film song was released. And this was, I think, about a year and a half, 2 years before the film song was released. And I actually took that song to like different record companies in the UK and, to try and get a record deal. Even to the point when the song was released, I even went to like a couple of radio stations to say, look, here's my song, play the song, because they weren't familiar with who I was. So they didn't know I was a complete newcomer. So I went through that phase of, working hard, promoting myself. I used to do like 18 hours a day in the studio, just lock myself in and work hard and, work on material.